Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Shelly here and welcome back to my channel. What's up, Bombshell Squad? As you guys can see from the thumbnail and the title of today's video, I'm going to be talking about my experience with moving long distance across the country. I recently shared with you guys that I finally moved from New York to Texas, and I wanted to share my experience on moving long distance and also give some tips and tricks on if you're deciding to move long distance, what you should look out for, things you should and should not possibly do, and just to help anyone out that's looking to move, whether you're moving to Texas or you're looking to move any other state, or even if you're looking to move from country to country. I feel like this would be a great video for you. If you are new to my channel, my name is Shelly. I am a beauty, fashion, and lifestyle content creator. I also own my own cosmetic company. My cosmetic company is Happiness Cosmetics. I am the owner, the founder, the CEO, the one that's going to pack and ship your orders, the marketing, the face of the brand. I am literally a one-man show when it comes to my company, and I'm super proud of this time of my company, which I call the slow season, because I'm getting to learn everything. So I have been on YouTube for probably like 8 to 9 years now, and I took a couple of years off, so I'm finally coming back. So if this is your first time seeing my channel, welcome. And if you are a OG subscriber, shout out to you as well. Big up on yourself and a large. But if you are new here, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and also comment down below and let me know what videos you guys would like to see next. I think it's about 3 weeks now that I promised you guys that I would be uploading a video every single week, and I have not been successful in doing that because the struggle of filming long form content, you guys, it has been getting to my last nerve. This is my 4th time filming this video, and I am determined to film it and get a quality video up on my channel so that I am back into the routine of knowing how to film again. This is my 4th time filming. Like I said, one of the times the audio was jacked up, another time there weren't any audio at all, and then the other 2 times bits and pieces of the video, and then sometimes huge chunk of the video I was just completely out of focus. And one thing that I want to do in coming back to YouTube, I want to provide you guys with quality videos and not just quantity. I love short form content, so you guys will be getting a short form content almost every single day, if not every day, here on my channel. But as far as my long form content, I want to give you guys those videos once a week, preferably probably on Sundays, because it's easier for me to upload on Sundays since I'm so busy during the week. And like I said, I am a one-man show when it comes to my company, so filming more short form content, it's easier for me to share with you guys everything that's going on in my life, whether I am cleaning, cooking, decorating, filming makeup tutorials, filming looks, whatever it is that I'm doing. I just share those in short form content. So hopefully you guys don't mind getting more short form content versus long form content. But if I can get back into a routine some point down the line where I can sit down and just do a lot more talking videos just to let you guys know what's going on in my life, or film hair tutorials, or whatever videos I'm recording, you know, if I ever get the time to do it, of course, I'll be pushing out those videos for you guys. But as for now, I can only commit to about 1 video a week as far as long form, but 7 short form content a week, because I'm constantly filming short form content. So hopefully you guys would actually love those as well. Also, if you see me looking down, I am constantly looking at my phone because I have my viewfinder on my phone to help me to make sure that I stay in focus, because like I said, that has been one of the main issues with me recording now. I just keep going out of focus for whatever odd reason. Enough of me rambling and babbling. Let's get into the video of moving long distance. I would mainly say that I moved on faith. It was definitely God's favor and his willing for what he wanted for my life, why I moved and how I ended up moving, and how I also decided on what state I wanted to live in. When I first moved here to the United States, I was born and raised in Jamaica for 18 years. And when I first moved here, I lived in Indiana at first, and then I moved to New York, and I spent most of my time here in New York. And just living in both states and just everything that I went through, I just knew that a cold state was not for me. I don't like the cold. I hate the cold. I've been a tropical baby my entire life. Like I said, I lived in Jamaica for 18 years before I moved here, so I definitely knew that I wanted to live somewhere more warmer. Also, the lifestyle that you live in New York, for someone like me that I consider middle class, it was just not the best. You spend so much money in New York for so little when you can spend the same amount of money in Texas and you're getting like 5 times what you would get in New York. So, plus you could also get that in other states, not necessarily alone in Texas, but I just like to be comfortable, and the main reason is just the cold, and then God always told me that New York was not going to be my home. I just knew it from a long time ago, and I've been wanting to move for the longest time. It just never happened, but nothing happens before the time. I would say if you are thinking about moving, if you have been getting convicted to move, if you've been wanting to move for the longest while, the first thing you should do is definitely pray. Definitely pray, 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 and ask God for direction, and also make sure that it's somewhere that is going to also fit your lifestyle as far as what you like. When you want to move to a state, you want to think about the climate, you want to think about jobs, you want to think about family, if you're a person that wants to raise a family and stuff like that. So definitely I would say make a list of what you would like for your lifestyle, and then just do your research on different places where you want to move. Once I decided and God told me that the state of Texas was the place that I should move, what I did was I started binge watching a lot of videos on living in Texas, moving to Texas, what is it like in Texas. And if you search Texas on YouTube, it's probably one of the most made videos of states that where people would actually want to live. Like, I feel like Texas is number one. I was binge watching a lot of videos on Texas, moving to Texas, living in Texas, and so many people had so many different opinions and how they view the state based on their experience. But one thing I want to let you know, no one experience is the same. No experience is going to be the same. What one person experienced does not mean that your experience is going to be just like theirs. There might be things from their experience that you might experience as well, but a person made a video and they hated the state of Texas. And then I know that probably deter a lot of people from wanting to move to Texas or wanting to move to any other state, because one person said, oh my God, I hate it there. It gets so hot, blah, blah. And it's like, I'm West Indian. I was born and raised in the heat. So I absolutely love the heat. I don't like the cold at all. That was number one. The second thing, that someone made a video and they were like, oh my God, it's so many bugs. It's a lot of bugs. Everywhere has its own downfall. Texas might have a lot of bugs, but you go to New York and the rat is literally tearing up your food half the time. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter how you try to get away from them. The rats, they just keep coming. So, you got to pick your own battles. Everyone just had different opinions. So just be careful when you're listening to people when they're talking about a certain place. Their experience doesn't necessarily have to be your experience. Let me just say that. The third thing, because you want to pray, you want to do your research. The third thing is you want to make sure that you budget. Okay, make sure that you have a budget on how much you want to spend, as far as, are you buying a house? Are you renting an apartment? However you're deciding to go in, make sure that you have a budget in place for what that's going to look like, and what your budget on how much you want to spend. You also want to make sure that you have a budget for your moving costs, if you're going to be moving furniture and all that stuff. And you just want to have a budget in general of how much you want to spend. Have you ever been to the state before? Do you want to go and visit to see what it is like before you actually move there? Do you want to go see the areas? You definitely want to make sure that you have a budget. Now, as far as the budget, I messed up really, really bad on my budget. And no, I'm not going to say that I messed up on my budget, because I knew exactly how much I wanted to spend. The way how my money got distributed, I got screwed. And I'll let you guys know further down in the video how I got screwed. But I had a budget on how much I wanted to spend as far as rent. Moving so far away, I knew the first thing I wanted to do was rent. I wanted to figure out what area I like to live first before I go ahead and purchase a home. And then I also don't want to purchase a home when it's just me right now. I want to purchase a home more than likely when my family grows, when I have a family. So I knew that I didn't want to right off the bat live in a huge mansion by myself. That's not something that I wanted at the moment. It didn't fit my lifestyle. So also, that's one thing that you got to keep a mental note of. If you're single, or maybe you have a family, you have a husband, a wife, you have children, definitely keep that into consideration on what would work best for your lifestyle. So for me, renting was the best option for me starting out. I wanted to rent somewhere very quiet, peaceful, and see what it is like living here. Do my research now that I'm living here in different areas and see what area will best fit my lifestyle before I go ahead and purchase. Because one thing that you should know is Texas is a huge state, one of the biggest states here in the United States, and it's just so many different places where you can live. And I definitely wanted to make sure that I feel at home in the area that I'm at before I tap into locking myself in a home. So that was major for me. The next thing was moving cost. I wanted to get rid of all my furniture and just start all over from fresh. And also, I didn't have a lot of furniture. So it would have been easy for me to just get rid of all my furniture and then start over from fresh. But the problem is, because when I decided to finally move, it happened so abruptly. I didn't get enough time to sell my furniture. And I also didn't want to rent out a storage and then the furniture sitting in there for a year. I end up paying so much money for storage when that money could have been put into something else. I know a lot of people use storage when they're moving to store their stuff for a while. That wasn't the option for me because one, I didn't have a whole lot of furniture, and then two, whatever I had could have been an easy move had I done proper research. So that's another thing that you want to take into cost effect is moving. So if you're going to move furniture, that's one thing. So there are two ways that you could possibly move your furniture. If you have a lot of furniture or even a little bit of furniture, you could pay a company to move your furniture for you, or you could rent a U-Haul and move the furniture yourself. If you have help to lift whatever you have, lift furniture, lift boxes, put them in a truck and then offload it once you get to your destination, that's a great choice to rent a U-Haul. However, because of the size of my bed and certain furniture pieces that I had, I didn't have anyone to help me to lift, so therefore I had to hire a company to help me to move my furniture from one state to the next. Another thing that you want to keep into effect as far as budget is visiting the state or visiting the place where you're going to move. For me, that was very big for me. I'm a type of person, I have to see it before I buy it. Okay, I am not going to blindly go into such a huge investment, because anywhere you live is an investment. Whether you're renting or you're purchasing, it's definitely an investment. For me, it's an investment on the quality of life, it's an investment on my safety, it's an investment on my comfortability, and it's an investment on my just way of my life, how I want to live, and it's an investment on my comfortability. Let me just say that. So however you decide to live, it's definitely an investment, and it's worth going, touching, seeing, and feeling before you lock into whatever it is, if it's a 2-year contract of a lease or whatever it is, however you're going to live. So that was very important to me. So that definitely needed to be in the budget as well. Luckily for me, I had family members here that extended the offer of me staying with them when I came to visit, and I am super grateful for that. I'll forever be grateful for that. They offered for me to come and spend the week with them that I came to visit, so that saved me a lot on Airbnb. So if you're looking to move as well, I highly recommend it if you possibly can, to go and see where you're going to live, go see the area, go see the surroundings. Especially if you're moving with children, you definitely want to make sure that you're moving close to a school district where your kids can go, which is a great school, or if you're looking to transfer a job or work a job, you definitely don't want to be too far away, because then that's when a lot of things just start to affect your life personally. And that's one thing that I definitely recommend keeping into thought of where you're gonna live. My moving company is what screwed me over the most. It was the most hectic thing about my move. It was the thing that stressed me out the most, and it's the thing that I highly recommend you do, because it could be one less stress that you have. So for me, I didn't fully do my proper research and I got screwed on my moving company. And I'm naming my moving company because if you ever see this video and you're looking to move long distance, I want to help you to not make the same mistake that I did. I worked with two different companies when I was moving. The first one is Beacons. Beacons? Beacons. Beacons. Okay, that's what they're named, because they're con artists. They're Beacons. That's what they're called. I think their company is based out of Florida. They're not a real moving company. What they are brokers. And I should have did my research on looking at the comment section in their website. There's quite a few people that got screwed by them, and they left reviews on the website that they're not a real moving company. What they are is a brokerage company, and what they do is they take your information, they give you an estimate of how much your move would cost, they make you pay half money up front, and then they take that money and go seek a moving company for you and then connect you with that moving company. Now when that moving company comes to you, they're going to do another estimate based on their own estimate, and then you're going to have to pay them the full fee. So for one, Beacons robbed me big time. So if you're seeing this video and you're moving long distance, do not ever use Beacons. They are thieves. The second moving company that I worked with is Logistics. Now, I had so many issues with this moving company, it's not even funny. I'm just going to briefly go over it because I don't want to dwell on it too much. But the first thing is the moving time. When they were supposed to come and do my pickup, I had my pickup time scheduled for sometime in the afternoon. They didn't come until 8 p.m. that night. That was strike one, that I knew that I shouldn't have used them. The second strike was when I spoke to Beacons on the phone, the first so-called moving company. They told me to pack the boxes as much as I can. It doesn't matter the weight of the boxes, because there's nothing too heavy that the moving companies can't move, because this is what they do. So I packed these boxes, especially the boxes with like pots and pans. I packed that box so heavy to the point where when I was trying to push it, it was so hard for me to just move it on the floor. And I was saying there's no way a human being or even two human beings can lift this thing. Like, it's just too much. The boxes is too heavy. They told me don't worry about it, there's nothing too heavy for them to lift. So I just started packing boxes as heavy as everything that I could fit in the boxes, I fit in the boxes. Now when Logistics came and started trying to move the boxes, I think it was about 4 guys that came. When they came tried to move the boxes, because the boxes were so heavy, they had to repack and had me repack majority of everything that I already packed. They made me repack all of them. That was another red flag right there. So they brought boxes with them, repacked all of my boxes, and then ended up charging me an extra $700 for boxes. Boxes! They charged me $700 for boxes. First of all, when I first started doing a lot of the calls for my move, when I started calling different companies and getting different estimates, I knew I wanted to spend maximum like $3,000, $3,500 on the moving company. That's the budget that I was working with. So I was determined to find a company that would work with my budget and get my stuff here on time the way how I wanted, if it was possible. So that was one red flag right there. When I was getting all the estimates from all these different companies, I wasn't getting an estimate that fit my budget. So I just still kept calling different people. How I ended up on Beacon's website, I have no idea. But their website came up, I called them, and what I didn't notice that they were doing, I told them that I've been going through a bunch of companies. I can't find a company to work with, so I'm looking to find a company to move my stuff. the guy on the phone, he asked me what was my budget. Now, I should have never told him what my budget was, because what they did was, based on the amount of money that I wanted to spend, he made sure that he gave me the estimate around that budget and then told me that I had to pay 50% upfront to get the move done. So he told me that in order for them to come and do my move, I had to pay 50% upfront. Okay, fine. I paid them, I think the estimate came out to like $3,500, so I had to pay them about like $1,700. So I paid the 50% upfront, and when logistics came to my house and they did the whole walkthrough and really saw everything that I had, they re-estimated me over $4,000. So a whole nother grand went on top of that money. Now they're asking me for $2,000 to pay them upfront for this move, and I'm telling them I already paid the 50% for the move. So what do you mean? Now, by this time, I didn't have an option to not let them take my stuff, because I already had my moving date scheduled. My sister already took off to help me drive my car because it was over a 17-hour drive. So a whole nother situation right there. And if you have it in your budget to pay for your car to be driven to the destination where you got to go, great. But as for me, I did not have that planned in my budget. I didn't have the money to spend an extra $2,000 to have my car driven down here. So I had to drive my car myself. So I already had that planned. That was a big L that I had to take, because I got robbed big time when it came to them. At this point, it was already like 8 o'clock at night. I'm super exhausted. I think it was on a Thursday that they did my pickup, and we were gonna leave Saturday morning. So we would have got here by Sunday, because my sister had to go back to work and my sister had taken a couple of days off. Them not taking my move was not an option for me, because I wouldn't have gotten another moving company to do my pickup by Friday. So I went ahead and used them, agreed to the $4,000 and change that they wanted to charge me, because they added an extra $700-800 on the money for boxes. Okay, fine. They came to my house 8 o'clock at night when they were supposed to come in the afternoon with a box truck. So what a lot of these moving companies do, these long distance moving companies, what a lot of them do is they come with a box truck to your house. The box truck is going to get loaded, and then the box truck is going to go to wherever their warehouse is and get loaded on a trailer. So that's how a lot of these moving companies move your stuff. They're not just going to drive your stuff all the way down here and just bring your stuff along, because so many people are moving from state to state. And that was a big deal for me, because when I originally called Beacons, I told them that I'm looking for a company that is going to get me my stuff within 3 days, because I have a company, right? I have my own cosmetic company. I have all my inventory with me, and I need someone that's going to get my inventory to me on time, because God forbid I get a bunch of orders. I need to be able to ship out orders to my customers. So they promised me over the phone before I made my payment. They promised me that they're going to come, they're going to do my pickup, and they're going to head straight to Texas. They're going to drive my stuff straight down here, right? That's what they were going to do. I would have gotten my stuff within like 3, maximum 4 days, because they have to rest after a certain hours of driving. Okay, cool. That shouldn't have took more than 48 hours. The time that they gave me. But that's not what happened. Logistics was giving me a whole nother rundown of what Beacon said. And there was so many red flags in the beginning that I knew that was going to become a problem. Whatever, fine. I left Beacons alone. Just thought of it, just took it as a scam. Now went to logistics, dealing with all the drama with them. Pay them the extra money that they charge me, pay them for the boxes that they charge me, and now after they picked up majority of my furniture and put it in the box truck and had so much stuff left over that they didn't even take, that they charged me for, right? They charged me for so many different things that they didn't put in the truck, because someone else's move was already on that truck. So there weren't enough space to fit all of my stuff. Mind you, I don't even have that many stuff. Anyways, moving on from there, they couldn't promise me that I was going to get my stuff within 3 days. So right there and then, I already knew I was going to have a problem. Okay, that's all the issue that happened there, right? They took like 5 hours to get everything out of my apartment. The agreement was they were going to take down all the furniture, put it into pieces. When they deliver the furniture, they're supposed to put them back. Mind you, I don't have a lot of furniture. The only thing they had to take apart was they took the legs off the couches. So I have a couch and a love seat. They took the legs off. They took the beds apart. I have 2 beds. They took the 2 beds apart, and the beds are easy to put back together. So they took the beds apart, and then all the chest of drawers, they took off the knobs off the chest of drawers, and the dresser, I have a dresser, they took the legs off the dresser. That's the only furniture they had to put back together. Another red flag, another strike with them. Once I driven down here, I was here for 2 weeks before I got my delivery. So keep in mind, if you're using a lot of these moving companies, you won't get your stuff until 2 weeks later. That's another thing right there. They didn't deliver my furniture until 2 weeks later. When they came to make my delivery, the guy was pushing this thing on the floor, and something in my mind told me this man is gonna come with a whole nother charge that was not a part of the agreement. Why he was measuring from where the truck was to come inside my apartment and then wanted to charge me an extra $700 to bring my furniture inside. I have never heard that in my entire life. At this point, I'm knocking on paying almost 6 grand, if not over $6,000 for this move, just with the moving company alone. And you want to charge me an extra $700 to bring the stuff inside? That's when I just literally went ballistic, you guys. And I was like, you know what? You leave my furniture on the curb. I will call the garbage truck and let them know they could go pick it up, and that's it. I said, leave it on the curb. I said, you're going to leave everything on the curb today because it's not happening. It is not happening. Okay? I just could not take it anymore with this moving company. I told them to leave every single thing on the curb. And me and them went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for over 2 to 3 hours before they finally decided that they couldn't leave it on the curb and they had to bring it in. Before they started bringing in all the boxes and then the furniture, I had to pay them the balance of whatever was left over. So I paid them the balance of whatever was left over, and I had just went to Chase, took the money out, and let's say I had to pay them $1,640, right? Let's say that was the balance. I had $1,700 in the envelope, and I had like a $60 left in envelope, and I sat the envelope in the kitchen in one of the drawers, and they saw when I put the envelope there. And for some odd reason, and my mind never goes wrong the whole entire time, because I'm also trying to move the boxes to wherever location they needed to go inside the apartment so that it would be easy for me to unpack the boxes. So whatever boxes was supposed to go in the bathroom, going in the bathroom. Whatever boxes was supposed to go in the kitchen, I made sure that those were in the kitchen. If there were any boxes to go in my office, I was making sure that those boxes are in my office.
Not being hidden from my wife.
I'm trying to refilm the YouTube video.
Okay, I wrong business.
Okay.
Love you, dude.
Love you more.
No, you will never win.
Yes, I do. Say it. Say it. Say it. Admit it.
I'll think once.
That I love you more.
I will not ever get the help.
Yes, you will, babe. Yes, you will. Sorry, guys. I had a phone call and lost my train of thought. But I think I was where I was talking about the extra $60 that I had left in the envelope with Logistics. That's the name of the moving company. The guys who delivered my product, they stole the $60 that I put inside of the drawer. Yes, they did. And it's so funny because the whole entire time when I'm trying to move the boxes to different locations inside the apartment, they were bringing in boxes. So I didn't have my eyes on them 24/7 to see what they were doing, because so they bring in the boxes. I'm taking boxes from this one, I'm taking boxes from that one, and I'm bringing it to different rooms to make sure that it's easy for me to sort out when unpacking. So something just kept telling me in the back of my head to check to see if the $60 was still in the drawer, because that's the money that I wanted to give them for tip. So it would have been like, you know, a little $60. They could buy something to eat, they could buy lunch, they could buy a drink, whatever. And the whole entire time when they were bringing in my stuff, I kept offering them something to drink. I kept offering them stuff, and they were just like, no, they were fine. By that time, they already had, one of them already stole the $60. And I knew the one that stole the $60 because at the end of the move, when they were bringing in the last couple of boxes, that one guy had left and I didn't know where he went and I didn't see him. It was just the other one that was still coming. And then even the time when they were bringing in the boxes, they kept being missing for like over an hour. Like I would be here taking in the boxes. I was like, where are they? Couple of boxes and they were downstairs taking a break. I'm not tripping out because I don't know if they are the ones that have been driving. Maybe they were driving all night. When they came to do my drop off, it was probably like 8 a.m. in the morning. So I wasn't tripping about them taking a break, maybe a lunch break, a rest break, whatever the case is, because I'm not too sure. I wasn't too sure if they were the ones that were driving all night, driving the trailer. So I don't know. But that was another red flag right there. The moving company logistics, they stole my $60 that I was going to give them for tip. And I'm like, I wasn't even tripping because it's like, that's the money that I was going to give you guys for tip anyways. So that was a whole nother ordeal right there. Once they had left and I started examining like all my furniture, because they were supposed to put my beds back together. They were supposed to put the legs back on all of the furniture, the dresser, the chair, the couch and the love seat and the chest of drawers. They were supposed to put the legs back on and put back the handles back on, so they know on the furniture where they put the screws, right? So the screws were taped on all the furniture, but they had their drills, they had everything to put it back together. They didn't put nothing back together. They left everything the same way how they brought it in. They left it because they wanted me to pay them an extra $700 to move my stuff inside, and I refused to pay them an extra $700. At this point, they're calling Beacons, telling Beacons that they're charging me an extra $700 because apparently where they're bringing in the furniture is too far. What? You're not walking a mile to bring in the furniture inside the apartment. You're walking a couple of feet. And then you're taking elevators. They didn't have to lift anything up any stairs. They were taking elevators. And they were tripping about charging me $700. So because they didn't get the extra $700 that they wanted, you guys, I'm telling you, that was the worst part about the move. And that's probably one of the main reasons why I wanted to make this video. For anyone that's doing long distance move, don't make the same mistake I did. Do your proper research on these moving companies, because a lot of them are nightmares to work with. Another thing with the whole moving situation, when Beacons gave me my estimate, they estimated me on a certain amount of space, right? That my stuff would fit. When logistics came to my house and they looked at all the stuff, they almost doubled the amount of space that they claim my furniture would have taken up. So that's why they were also charging me extra, because they charge you by square foot. So they almost doubled the amount of space. I was like, okay, fine. I just need you guys to move my stuff. No problem. I'm going to pay you whatever you charge me. First of all, because there was so much stuff already on the box truck that they brought to my house to do the pickup, there wasn't enough space to fit the stuff that they were charging me for. So when they were done taking everything that they could fit on the truck, I still had a lot of stuff left over. that they charge me for. They charge me for the space, but then leave a lot of my stuff behind. When the trailer came with my furniture, when I went downstairs and looked at the trailer, the same space that Beacon gave me, that's the space that my furniture took. When they packed my stuff on the 10-foot trailer, my stuff took up like this much amount of space because there was still mad people furniture on that trailer. That's not what they charge me for. So I'm telling you guys right now, if you are doing a long distance move, Beacons and Logistics, don't ever use any of those companies. They are terrible. After they dropped off my stuff and they were gone, thank God my uncle lived not too far away, so I called my uncle to come help me. My uncle came. Myself and my uncle was even bringing in like the smaller boxes from the trailer outside because we were helping them the whole entire time to bring in my stuff inside the apartment. My uncle and I were bringing in a lot of the boxes. So after they left, my uncle was the one that was helping me to put back all my furniture together, put my beds together, put all of the stuff together that I needed to put together because these guys left my stuff on the floor. Every time I think about my move, you guys, the nightmare of just these moving companies, they just literally leave a clump in my chest. There was so many of my furniture that was damaged. My dresser is broken. The drawer knobs were missing from my dresser. My bed was damaged. There was so many damages to my furniture. It was not even funny. And I don't know if that's because they had packed it so tight on the trailer. A lot of stuff got damaged. If you have any damages, they tell you can call them and they'll work with you to work something out. I called them to let them know, one, they didn't put my furniture back together. They left everything on the floor. And two, I had so many damages. And the lady told me, oh, I'm not in the office at the moment, so when I go into the office, I'll give you a call. Mind you, when I first talked to these people to do my pickup, they were the nicest people on the planet ever. When it was time for them to do my drop off, they were so nasty and disgusting, it didn't even make any sense. I couldn't believe I was talking to the same people. And Beacons were still involved at this point. And the guy that took my estimate at Beacons, I thought I had met an angel, nicest guy on the planet. When it was time for him to help me with everything that I was going through, there was some lady picking up in the office and she would not let me talk to him to save my life. She would not let me talk to him for nothing. He was not taking any of my calls. I called him and left multiple messages. He didn't take any calls from me. Nothing at all. I was like, okay, because I was already so mentally drained and stressed out from them not delivering my stuff on time, them wanting to charge me so much money, them already charging me so much money and robbing me, I was just so mentally drained that I just left it alone. And I was like, God, I'll leave this in your hands. I'll leave it in your hands because honestly, this battle I can't do. I honestly could not do it. That was one of my biggest takeaways from moving is the moving company. If you're going to use one, please, please, please do your thorough research because you don't want to get jabbed over like I did. Next part of the budget that I told you guys about earlier was to make sure that you go and you see where you're going to live if you possibly can. I highly recommend it. When I was doing my research on moving, I seen so many horror stories of people. Even you see even horror stories now of people on TikTok talking about like their experience with moving and working with realtors and getting a place. Now, I did work with a realtor in moving and I was working with several realtors because, like I said, I had a list of things that I wanted in the space that I was moving to, and I'll share those with you guys in just a moment. But first of all, a lot of these realtors are trash as well. A lot of these realtors are terrible. I had realtors that I messaged, never responded. I have realtors that I messaged and they responded to me and then they sent me a few places and then I didn't hear from them ever again in life. I have realtors that sent me places and then waited until 8 months later to ask me if I'm still looking to move. The last time you sent me a message was 8 months ago. You do know that. So what kind of realtor are you? Just be careful as well if you're using realtors to help you to find a location, to send you different location and stuff like that, because all these people are doing is going on Google and sending you links. That's all they're doing. They're not doing the proper research to help you. Not all of them, but some of them, because I'm telling you what I encountered. So a lot of realtors, they are just not, they're not good. So you want to be careful when you're working with them, because even some realtors are going to say that they had a fee, you had to fill out a form and pay them a fee for them to go and look for stuff. No such thing. Realtors are going to get paid from the places that they're getting customers for, not from you. So you shouldn't be paying any realtor to go in and doing that job for you. No, that's not how it works. Even if you're buying a house, realtors get paid after you've purchased the house. They get paid from the bank or whoever they get paid from. They don't get paid from you. So be careful as well with a lot of realtors, because a lot of them are just whack. So thankfully, I had a great realtor that I was working with. She constantly checked up on me. She constantly sent me places. She constantly was asking me, what am I looking for? What was my budget? What are the things that I want in the place? How do I want it to look? Like, I constantly was telling her a lot of things. So for me, it was going to work for my lifestyle and what I was looking for, what I wanted. One, I have a budget of how much I wanted to spend. I didn't want to spend more than what I was paying at my previous apartment in New York, but I ended up going over a little bit over the budget, but technically I'm really still really within the budget, because for what I was spending in New York versus what I'm spending now is very similar. A couple of the things that I had on the list, definitely wanted to make sure that the place that I was moving to had hardwood floors. That was very important for me. I had hardwood floors previously where I was coming from, and I wanted to keep it that way, because if you move into anywhere that has carpet, if you cause any damage to the carpet, you're going to have to replace the carpet, or they're going to hold on to your deposit fee, and I did not want to have that problem. So that's one thing that I did not want, was carpet. And especially if you have pets, dogs, cats, whatever they are, they like to piss and shit all the time. I would not recommend you getting somewhere that has carpet. So make sure that that's one thing for you that you eliminate right off the bat. I know no carpet, and that was important for me. I didn't want any carpet. The next thing that I wanted, and these are also things that I prayed for, because I wanted just my space to be to have a specific look, because I was just tired of living a certain kind of way, and it didn't matter to me at this point, because life is short. Tomorrow is not promised to nobody. So if I'm gonna live somewhere, I want to make sure that I am super comfortable, because I don't want to bet my life on wait till I live in a house in 5 years before I live a certain kind of way, and then I only live for the next 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that I think I'm going to die, but that's just how I think. There's a lot of people that don't think the way how I think, and their life is completely different. They get to live out their full life where they save up for 10 years, and then they finally get the big mansion, and then they finally get to live a certain kind of way. That's just not what was gonna work for me right now, because of what I've been through. So I definitely knew that, there were certain things that I wanted, and I did not want to compromise on it. And having hardwood floors was the first one. The second thing was, I definitely wanted to have a all white kitchen. Ever since I was younger, I just love the aesthetic of an all white kitchen. And I just knew that it's something that I definitely wanted. The next thing I wanted was for my countertops, on my kitchen countertops and also in my bathroom. I did not want that oatmeal looking countertop. I don't know what the name is. It's in most apartments, and a lot of them use that countertop, that oatmeal looking countertop, and I had it in my previous kitchen in New York, and I absolutely hated it. So I know that's not something that I wanted. I did not want that at all. The next thing that I definitely prayed for was an office. So like I told you guys in the beginning of the video, I do have my own company, and my company is very small at the moment. So I have my merchandise with me. I have all my products, my inventory with me at home. So definitely wanted to make sure that I had a space for it in my last apartment in New York. Because of space, I had to overflow it in my living room, and it was taking up half half of my living room, and it just made my space feel super tacky, especially if people had to come over. You just seen this big array of products in my living room, and I did not like that at all. Not saying that you shouldn't start out small if you know you're starting a business and you don't have storage and you know you have to store them in your living room. We all have to start from somewhere, but that's one thing that I did not want to compromise on because I just did not like how it looked in my living space, and I wanted to have an office. I also knew that I was gonna work from home, trying to run my business and just grow my brand and grow myself as a person. So having an office space that I could work from home was definitely important to me. So I definitely just wanted that, and God was so faithful because he definitely provided that for me. And then a lot of other things just kept getting added on to the list once I came and I viewed the area and see how it is and see, you know, look at different places and see how places are. A couple of different things got added to that list of things that I hope to have in my apartment, and one of those things were the bathroom, how the bathrooms are. A lot of places in Texas you get to have the double in the bathroom, and what that means is you get to have a tub and a shower. So that's one thing that I knew that I wanted after looking at a lot of places in my main bathroom. I definitely wanted the option to have a bathtub that I could lay down, take a bath whenever I get tired or I just want to relax. I definitely wanted to have a tub where I could lay down, but I also wanted to have a standing shower. I could just take a quick shower and be done with it. I wanted the double, and I also wanted a nice size closet. A lot of places that I looked at, closet sizes were good, and then also some of them were not so great. So I wanted to have, you know, a decent size closet. My bedroom also, I wanted it to be a certain size because I have a king size bed. If you guys seen in my shorts, you will see that I have a king size, but I have a very big bed. So that is one of the main things that I wanted as well. I wanted for my bedroom to be a decent size. Washer and dryer, even though most, if not all apartments in Texas come with a washer and dryer, a lot of people in Texas, I don't really see laundromats here. I don't know if it's a thing here, but I definitely wanted to make sure that that was not even an option for me not to have a washer and dryer, because living in New York and picking up heavy laundry bags for years, I've been doing that since the day I moved to New York, and I didn't stop until the day I left. For years, lifting up heavy laundry bag, going to the laundromat, I hated that. So laundry, I definitely wanted to have. Oh, there were two other things that I really wanted that I compromised on because when I saw the space, I just definitely knew this was home. First thing was I wanted to have a gas stove, but I unfortunately did not get that because my unit does not come with a gas stove. And then the next thing that I really would have loved to have was a balcony, because I recently had a balcony and I occasionally use my balcony to like work out, or sometimes just sit on the balcony and relax if I wanted some fresh air. And I don't have a balcony that I could sit on, but I could just go and stand on the balcony because the balcony is very tiny. So that's one of the other things that I kind of semi-compromised on. And the two things that I compromised on are two things that I'm living without, and I'm living very comfortable. I'm very happy with my space. But that took me coming here, visiting, spending a whole week here, and getting to know the area, getting to see where I'm going to live, and so on and so forth. So that's another thing that I want to get into, which is very important when moving. If you're looking to move and you can, like I stated before, I would highly recommend going and visiting the area first so that you're going to see where you're going to live. One, you definitely want to see the area. You want to see your surroundings. You want to make sure that if you need schools, grocery stores, things that you use, you want to make sure that they're accessible to you, and you can get to these things. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't want to blindly sign a lease 2,000 miles away, and then when you move here, you're not in a great neighborhood as far as where you can feel safe, right? So that was another big thing for me. I wanted to make sure that the neighborhood that I was going to live in, it would have been quiet, low key. You don't really see a lot of too much stuff going on or any of that stuff, and that was very important to me. And the biggest part of it was because I'm a single woman, my safety to me is tip top priority. If I was gonna feel like I'm not safe in the area that I live, that would have haunted me every single day. So my safety for me was top priority. Okay, anything can happen anywhere, but you can help out the situation by, making sure that you're in a safe environment. And that was important for me, just to be in a safe environment. Next thing is, you just want to see it. You just want to see it to make sure that it's going to fit everything that you need. I've seen a lot of horror stories of people talking about them signing leases because they just seen the pictures of places and the pictures look really nice. So they signed a lease because it looked nice and it looks good. But then when they moved to where they were going to move to, the area is terrible. They have noisy neighbors around, all different kind of crazy stuff. And it's like, a realtor is not going to tell you what's outside. A realtor is not going to tell you your next door neighbor has 17 kids, or they're very loud and they play loud music all the time. I'm not going to say all realtors, because I don't want to give realtors a bad rap. But some realtors, they're not going to go in depth and do all that work for you. You're going to have to figure that out yourself. So going and visiting the state and see what's going on and looking at different neighborhoods in different areas, I highly recommend it for anyone that's moving. That's one of the things that I did. I came down here for a week. Like I said, I had family members that I stayed with, so that saved me a lot on Airbnb. But as soon as I got here, I already had a car scheduled at the airport that I was gonna have for the week. And what I did for that entire week that helped me out a lot was just drive. I was driving like 100 miles per day. And I was driving the whole city of Houston every single day, just getting to know the place. And now that I'm here, when I go certain places and I'm driving, I'm like, oh, I was here before. I know this place. Because you drive so much that you're familiar with certain things. So just getting familiar with certain places, that was important to me. So I made sure that I came down here and did my due diligence of just driving every single day. I woke up, got dressed, hopped in the car, and I was just driving everywhere. And I was actually having fun with it as well, because I was just getting to know the place. So I definitely drove around. Like I said, I was working with a really dope realtor. I was working with a couple of realtors, but this realtor that sent me here, she's really, really good. Still, I think I still have her phone number. If anyone is looking to move to Houston, Texas, if you need a realtor, hit me up. I can link you up with my realtor. I'm pretty sure she'll be glad for the recommendation. But I'll have to go back in my text too to see if I could find her. It was pretty dope. She sent me quite a few places that I looked at and I did not like them, and I just kept telling her no, I still couldn't find what I was looking for. And one thing she made sure that she did before she kept sending me places was ask me for my budget, even though a lot of places that she sent me was over budget. But she asked for my budget and then what I was looking for. So I was looking for the office, like I said, hardwood floors. I wanted a white kitchen. There was certain things that I wanted, and she was really good to work with me to just send me recommendations. And for houses and owners, if you're dealing with owners, you more than likely don't have to set an appointment. If they're available, they could just show you, if they don't have to work or anything of that sort. But for any buildings that you're going to, you're more than likely going to have to make a schedule. So you definitely want to make sure that you schedule, go online, do your research as well, schedule the places that you want to see, because a lot of them, they won't just show you by walking in. You're going to have to go there and schedule it. I was able to, make schedules to do the on-site visits. And I think there was only one that allowed me to walk in. But you definitely want to make sure that you try to set up a schedule around the time that you're going to visit, if you are going to visit, so that they can see you to, show you around. And yeah, that was pretty much how I got this place. There were quite a few that I looked at. I looked at so many different ones. And my favorite out of all of them that I looked at was Crimson. And I could never forget that place. Crimson, oh my God. Beautiful, clean. The staff is so nice and friendly. And everything about that place is nice. But one thing I have to tell you about Crimson, you better have some money. Okay, that place is so super expensive, it makes no sense. So anybody that tell you, oh, it's so cheap in Texas, all these gurus that you see online and them talking about you could get this for this much in Texas. Not saying that you can't get it, but a lot of times they're running sales or it's lottery or stuff like that. So they'll have like one unit that they're renting for that price. You know what I'm saying? It's not, I wouldn't say it's cheaper to live in Texas now. I would say it's a better way of living compared to a lot of other states, such as New York. Because what you're going to get in New York for $2,000 is a matchbox compared to what you get in Texas, which is like a mansion. Okay, let me just put that out there. Coming here and just driving around and then looking at the places and see how they were for myself, that was like the biggest win. The biggest win that I did out of my whole moving experience. And though I had to compromise on having a gas stove and not having like a full balcony, what I got in addition to my apartment versus what I didn't get was I got a guest bathroom. Let me tell you, that is like one of the biggest blessings. And though I don't even use the guest bathroom that often, I just like that I have it as an option. If people come over, they could always use the guest bathroom. And also, whenever my family come over, there is extra bathrooms that people could use. Like next month, I will have a whole house full of family members in here, and I cannot wait for them to just come and enjoy the space. I'll have a whole house full of family members here next month for Thanksgiving, so I'm super excited about that. But other than taking a shower, if someone wants to use the bathroom, as far as going to the bathroom, whatever, if that bathroom is in use, they have a guest bathroom that another person can use, which is always a plus. Every other place that I have ever lived in only had one bathroom, and it was a struggle. So the fact that there's 2.5 baths in here, I am literally like on cloud nine. Okay, so I'm super, super, super excited about that. Another thing that I wanted was a double door fridge. I've never had a double door fridge before, so I definitely wanted to have that experience of having a double door fridge. That was one thing that I wanted instead of just a regular standard fridge. And my island is a plus because it's massive. My island is probably like 10 feet wide. It's so big. But I got a lot of wins except losses when it comes to my place. So I definitely can say that that's a win. So write down everything that you would like to have in your apartment and make sure that you're checking off those boxes and not settling. Okay, a lot of people settle. Don't settle. Look, because whatever you're looking for, whatever you want, trust me, God will provide because He did it for me and I know He could do it for you too. So that's one other thing that I think is super important when it came to my move. Another thing is, I touched on this topic earlier, if you can afford to pay for your car to be shipped, by all means, go ahead. I couldn't afford it at that time. So huge shout out to my sister for helping me to drive my car down. And we had a little incident on the road, but glory be to God, it was nothing major. We pulled it together real quick. My sister did a majority of the driving, and because sis just wanted to just keep driving, she fell asleep around the steering wheel. And good thing my mom was looking, and my mom screamed out and we pulled it together real quick. But that was a little scare that we had, and thank God it didn't turn out that way. I kept all my furniture, but if you can start over, get rid of your furniture. Plan ahead, get rid of your furniture so you don't have to deal with a moving company. Like all the money that you're gonna spend with them, pack it in boxes and just ship it down. Just ship it. Put it on a UPS truck and let them drive it down. Because spending $6,000 with these people, if I had shipped all those boxes, it wouldn't have cost me that much. Let me just say that. Okay, it would not have cost me that much. The last thing that I would say when you're moving, especially if you're moving away from the familiar is moving away from family, moving away from friends, moving away from what you're always used to. It can be a little bit depressing in the beginning just because, especially if you're alone, you're just away from everybody, it can get a little bit lonely. What I would say is just pray and just keep God close, and everything else will fall into place. Thankfully, I was able to find a church home that I love. Only thing that I can tell you about these Texas churches, Texas don't have churches, okay? Texas have mega churches. So I feel like I slowly kind of got lost in my church. And when it comes to me and going to church, I like to be very active in church. I like to serve. So in my last church in New York, I was a part of like 3 to 4 different ministries, okay? I was at church all day every day. Okay, sometimes I was at church for 3 4 days out of the week. I would be on church. I would be at church on Wednesdays. I would be at church Thursdays for practice, Fridays for practice, Saturdays for practice, Sundays for service. Like, I spent a lot of time in church, and I used to serve a lot. And now I am kind of lost in my church because my church is so big, and I just moved. I'm running my business. I'm just trying to get settled in. So I haven't taken on any duties as yet at church, but hopefully within the new year, I'll look to deep dive into a ministry and just get back in ministry and make some new friends and stuff like that. I currently don't have any friends here in Texas as yet, but hopefully that will change within the new year. But I have so many family members, you guys. I don't really even have time for meeting new people. And I don't want to be like, "Oh, I don't have time for new people." But I don't I'm just like, I don't really have I don't really make time. Let me just say that. I don't make time to meet new people, which is not good, but I have so many internet friends now. And because of moving, because of when I moved, I was so depressed, and my space was not a mess, but just not organized and not decorated. Once I started, like really started decorating, that's when I decided to just pick up the camera and film. And I was just filming short form content. I got into learning short form content, and I was just filming short form content. And it literally took me into a whole different dynamic on social media. I've just been growing since, which is crazy, on apps that I haven't even been on. So I literally like blew up. I have multiple on top of multiple viral videos on TikTok, viral videos on Instagram, viral videos now on Facebook in the millions. And now I'm tapping back into my YouTube game. So hopefully, we have some success over here on this app as well. YouTube has been my number one baby. YouTube has been my baby from day one. So I'm looking to continue to grow and now expand my family on YouTube. Hopefully we hit the milestone of 100,000 followers before the year ends. It would be dope to get that in the next 2 weeks for my birthday. Come on. But hopefully look to just blow up on YouTube within, the next 3 months to get to that play button, because I've been wanting that play button for so long. But yeah, I think that's about it for this video, you guys. If there's anything else that you would love to know about my move, feel free to leave those questions down below, and I'll be very, very happy to answer them. And make sure you guys are following me on all my social media platforms. My name is Shelly Bombshell. If you look me up on any social media platform, that's what you're gonna find. And your girl is kind of big now, so you'll definitely find me. I'm not that big like a lot of people, but still. Within all my social media platforms, your girl has over 200,000 followers, which is insane. That's crazy to think that 5 months ago, the only following I have was my old subscribers from YouTube. 5 months ago, that's all I had. But it's crazy to think that I'm growing, and I cannot wait to see what God has in store for us for the new year, all the plans that He has for me, and where I'm going to take my content creator journey and also grow my business. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.